It was the night he fell in love with a girl who'd never seen a face. And the day she finally opened her eyes. She could have walked away forever. Ethan had it all. Decent job. Money in the bank. A nice flat in Canary Wharf. But the one thing he didn't have was someone who truly saw him. Then he met Lily, a blind girl who couldn't see his face, but somehow saw the hurt he kept hidden from everyone. He fell in love with her voice, with her bravery, with her heart. But when a miracle gave her the chance to see again, he was bloody terrified. Because what if the moment she saw him was the moment he lost her? This isn't just a love story. This is a story about seeing with the heart. When the eyes might ruin everything. It was tipping it down that night. Ethan first heard her voice. Not saw her. Heard her. The gentle melody drifted through the empty tube station. Like a whisper looking for someone who understood heartache. Ethan stopped dead. Commuters hurried past. Brollies dripping. Shoes sloshing through puddles. But that voice. It stopped time. She was sitting near the escalators. In a simple cream dress. Fingers softly moving over a little keyboard. Her eyes were open. But distant. Still. Calm. Beautiful. She was blind. A small cardboard sign leaned against her case. Music is how I see the world. Ethan didn't know why his chest felt so tight. He had everything. A solid city job. Savings. A fancy flat. But inside, he felt hollow. 3 months earlier, his fiancée had left him for someone with a bigger bonus. Since then, love felt like a word he couldn't trust. But that night, something changed. He dropped a few quid into her guitar case. She smiled gently. Cheers, but you don't sound very happy, love. Ethan froze. I didn't say a word. You didn't need to, she said softly. Your silence was proper heavy. For the first time in months. Ethan smiled. What's your name? He asked. Lily. That was the start. The next evening, he came back. And the next. And the next. At first, he told himself it was just curiosity. Then he realized. It was peace. Lily never asked about his job or his money. Never judged the shake in his voice. When he mentioned being cheated on, she just listened. And somehow, she saw him clearer than anyone ever had. Why do you keep coming here every day? She asked once. Dunno, he admitted. Maybe because you don't look at me. She laughed quietly. I do look at you. Just not the way everyone else does. Days turned into weeks. Ethan started bringing her a cuppa. Sometimes a pasty. Sometimes just stories. She told him how she pictured colors. I reckon blue feels like calm, she said once. And red feels like heartbreak. How'd you know? He whispered. Because heartbreak's loud, innit? Her words always meant more than they seemed. One night, the rain was chucking it down. Streets flooded. Tube shut early. Lily sat alone. Water creeping closer to the pavement. Ethan ran to her. Why didn't you get out of here? Didn't realize it was that bad, she said quietly. Without thinking. He took off his coat. Wrapped it round her. And carried her to his car. She clung to him. For the first time, he felt needed. And for the first time, she felt safe. Ethan learned her story bit by bit. Lily lost her sight at 9 from a rare illness. Her dad passed years ago. Her mum cleaned houses but was poorly now. Music was their only money coming in. But Lily never moaned. I might not see faces, she told him once. But I see intentions. And yours are kind. That scared him. Because he was falling hard. And love had gutted him once already. He tried to pull back. For 3 days, he stayed away. On the 4th, he came back. She was still there. But her song felt different. Not hopeful. More like goodbye. You left, she said softly when she sensed him. Was busy. No, she replied gently. You were scared. His throat tightened. She was bang on. I'm frightened, he admitted. What if I hurt you? What if I bail? She smiled. Then at least I'd have felt something real. Before it ended. Those words knocked down every wall he'd built. That night, under the quiet city lights, Ethan took her hand and didn't let go. Love with Lily was different. No selfies. No staring into each other's eyes for ages. Instead, long chats. Fingers laced together. Foreheads touching. Shared quiet that said more than words ever could. She learned his footsteps. He learned her heartbeat. He described sunsets to her. She described feelings to him. It was pure. It was terrifying. It was everything. One evening, Ethan took her to the seaside, Brighton, on the train. He guided her hands to the waves. She gasped as the water touched her toes. Sounds endless, she whispered. It is. Like love, she asked. He swallowed. Yeah. Like love. That night, he knew. He wanted to marry her. But life's never that straightforward. A week later, Ethan got a call. A consultant from a private hospital. There's a donor cornea available, the doctor said. For Lily. Ethan's heart stopped. She could see again. This was the miracle she deserved. But dread crept in. What if she saw him? And didn't fancy what she saw? What if the magic broke? Still, he didn't hesitate. He sorted it all quietly. When he told Lily, she went quiet. You happy? He asked, nervous. I'm scared, she whispered. What if the world's not as lovely as I pictured? You are, he said firmly. And that's enough. Surgery day came. Ethan waited outside theater for hours. Every minute felt like forever. Finally, the doctor appeared. It went well. Relief hit him like a wave. Days later, time to take the bandages off. Ethan stood outside her hospital room. Couldn't breathe properly. Inside, the nurse gently peeled away the last layer. Light flooded Lily's world for the first time in years. She blinked. Shapes appeared. Colors. Tears rolled down her cheeks. It's so bright, she whispered. Slowly, her sight cleared. The first face she saw properly was her reflection in a mirror. Then the nurse. Then Ethan stepped in. Her eyes met his. For the first time. The room went silent. Ethan felt bare. Exposed. Terrified. She stared. He wasn't perfect. Little scar by his eyebrow. Bags under his eyes from no sleep. Worry etched on his face. Minutes dragged like hours. Then suddenly, she started crying. His heart broke. Sorry, he whispered. If I'm not what you pictured. Before he could finish, Lily stepped forward and touched his face so gently. You look exactly how kindness feels, she said through tears. He fell apart. Thought you'd be taller, she added, teasing. He laughed through his own tears. Then she said the words he'd never forget. All this time, you thought I loved you without seeing you. She put her hand on his chest. But I saw you. Every single day. In how you spoke. In how you stayed. In how you cared. She smiled. And you're more beautiful than I ever imagined. Months later, they went back to the same tube station. But this time, Lily wasn't busking to survive. She was playing for pure joy. Ethan stood in the crowd, watching her. She could see him now. But sometimes, she closed her eyes while singing. Because love, she realized, was never about sight. It was about feeling. After her set, she walked straight to him. No hesitation. No darkness. She wrapped her arms around him. I used to think being blind was my weakness, she said softly. But it let me see the right person. Ethan smiled. And you showed me what love actually is. He pulled out a small ring. Right there. Where they first met. Marry me? She laughed. Yeah. But only if you promise me something. Anything, love. Even when we're old and grey. And our eyes give out again. We'll keep seeing each other with our hearts. He kissed her forehead. Promise. And under the same station lights where their story began. They chose each other. Not because of what they saw. but because of what they felt. Because sometimes the heart sees clearer than the eyes ever could. And that's what makes love truly blind.